If JK, the company, the organization never existed, the way it opened up our minds never existed, the influence never existed, Uncle Sam, Uncle Chen never existed, all of that.
Well, there definitely would be no Mutta anymore.
No Mutta
anything. You know?
I was so close-minded and like I was such a rigid thinker, dude. Like I'm probably still pretty rigid, but not as rigid. But I was just told that this is a pillow and it can't be anything else but a pillow. So I never questioned anything. I was just, whatever you fed to me, I was just like, okay, cool. Like, I guess you know what you're talking about because you're a grown-up and grown-ups hold the answers, even though you don't really make sense to me
So
sometimes.
if someone
like,
tells you, like, you gotta get married by your 25, you gotta buy a house when you're 30, like all those traditional values, those are the exact same things that you...
Well, because I saw it worked. So for me, like, I swear to you, I told myself, like, okay, by 28, I'm gonna own a house already.
Why 28?
I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I don't know why it was 28. I think
That's hard.
now that I
In
know.
California?
This is how stupid I was.
Realistic in California.
Yeah.
And then I was saying
38 is better.
by 23 or 25, like, I want to be married. Because, I know what it was. Everything revolved around kids and, like, being financially stable.
Like the OGO was, I remember you were like super career driven. I just want to be woman CEO. Well, that's kind of true today.
Yeah.
But then it was very different.
It was a fucked up type of...
Yeah, I want to climb the corporate ladder and be like, wear a business suit.
I think that was a really good analysis of yourself because I think like I just have so much fun like going forward that I never really look back to see the different perspectives that I had. But before JK, I think my ultimate goal, I wanted to be a killer lifesaver.
Killer lifesaver.
I was in the military, but I was also like studying to go to med school, and I was like, man, if there's like a Navy SEAL doctor position, that's what I would go for. And I started doing research, and I found out every SWAT team has a paramedic attached to it. So I'm like, dude, you could have a gun and a stethoscope? Hell yeah! So,
now it makes sense.
So that's what I really...
You're like the fucking life or death guy.
Yeah.
Do you want life or a death?
So I was like, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like a lifesaver. I'm like, oh no, you got shot. What'd you say, motherfucker? I wanted to be that, and I never in a million years would I have thought I was gonna own a business or anything. I thought businesses were for like people that just had amazing ideas, or they went to business school, or they just were born into that type of family or environment.
Yeah, because when I first met you were actually really torn. I remember like we had a heart-to-heart before we were even the biz. We had a heart-to-heart where you were like, fuck, I really... Like, I'm only going to med school because I want to make my parents happy. And you're like, but honestly, and this is funny now because he was like, honestly, my dream is to just be a singer. Like, I want to be a musician of some sort.
I
Like,
told you should sing.
I wanted to be.
You
I
sing
forgot.
so
I already gave up on that. I wanted to be a musician like my whole life, and then when my parents like shit on my dreams, I think that's when I was like, I'm gonna be more practical. And then that's when I was like, okay, I like, military stuff, maybe like lawyer or doctor or something, try to combine those two.
They kind of done that already though. Y'all did the
Chillin' by the fireside.
yes, that's it. The Christmas song.
We got to live all of our dreams through JK. You know what's crazy? I know we're supposed to talk about what life would have been without JK, but it's like with JK, we were able to experience all of it.
Yeah.
Music, business, comedy, live performances, like everything that we wanted to do, we could do it in one little thing. And it's like, we weren't stuck to one thing, like, I'm gonna be a guitarist and then perform that for the rest of my life. We got to experience a lot of different lives.
Yeah.
So it's like when you go back and say, shit, what would I done? I don't even know. Because I feel like at that time, I was very conflicted because in my soul and in my heart, I knew I always wanted to do something different. Well, I grew up, in a family that were like musicians and entrepreneurs, and no one's really like working a corporate job. Maybe the hospital, but that's it. So because of that, I was never pushed toward that world. But then I see everyone else in that world and how stable their lives are, and it made me kind of go like, maybe I should do this. And that's why I started going to school and all that. And I remember I had this talk with you too. I finished 2 years and I tried to open up a business with my friend, and then we were selling stuff on eBay. We made good money. And then I was like, but I'm unhappy. And you're like, dude, why don't you go back to school and be a nurse or some shit? I remember, cause you're gonna be a doctor.
I just needed someone to do stuff with.
And then we volunteered at the hospital together.
By myself.
Yeah.
At the US.
Best friends forever.
I just imagine you two like matching scrubs and shit and standing there.
Yeah, we volunteered at a hospital together. Yeah, and then he was gonna be a doctor, and I was looking into the nursing field or whatever, and I was like, okay, maybe I could do this.
Why were you looking at
Awesome.
nursing?
Less school.
Oh.
And, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to go less school for a high amount of money in a couple of days, and then I like got into psychology, and I was like, oh, you know what, this feels right. But ultimately, everything in school was a half-ass decision. Everything was like, oh, I don't really want to do this, but I think I can kind of do this. So let me just
Those are the
go
only
for it.
choices.
Those are the choices, right?
Yeah.
Like what it should be is, I fucking love this. I'm in love with this field, and I would do this for zero money.
Nobody teaches you that though.
No.
Because it's unrealistic in our world. You know, no one goes, I'm gonna motherfucking be a cashier because I love fucking crunching numbers on a register. I love, no one says that shit. And it's for the most part, most jobs are like that. It's kind of like, well, I can kind of see myself doing this. I kind of like it, but I don't know. I think everyone's stuck in that stage, and I think that's how I would have lived.
Well, for me, I don't think I would have ended up anywhere else but a hospital setting. Because I was already there, like before I stepped foot in with JK, I was already working at a hospital. I was already doing my 9 to 5. I tried going to school to try nursing so I could make more money. That was too hard at that point. But I feel like if JK never entered my life, obviously I don't think, or would we met?
We didn't meet through JK,
Yeah, we
but
didn't meet
JK
through
helped
JK.
bring us even closer together though.
That's true.
But we would have met through Lex.
Or maybe you wouldn't have ended up together.
You wouldn't have stayed a long
Yeah.
time together.
Right, because you wouldn't have understood
Oh,
what was
that's
going
right.
on.
Yeah, that's so
Oh, that's true. We were having mad problems before you
Yeah.
actually joined JK.
Yeah, in the beginning when we first started dating, I couldn't understand how he could stay in one meeting for like 10 plus hours. And I'm like, what time are you getting home? Like, how does that even happen? Or like, filming for like 12 plus hours. Like, how can you film for that long? How could you not finish your job? Like,
Well, the
within-
cameras get tired.
Yeah, I'm like, how does that happen? Like, I couldn't wrap my mind around your lifestyle. So yeah, for sure, I don't think we would have even made it.
I think for me, without JK, I would still be pursuing film, but I think I would be very, very close-minded in terms of how I would achieve what I would want in the film industry. I had a very specific way of how my career would progress. And then I would look to my idols at the time, and I think there was a generation of filmmakers that came out of film school, directly out of film school, got into the music video world, and then progressed into commercials, and then progressed into feature films. And seeing my idols do that, I was like, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go into music videos, and then commercials, and then feature films, and that's where I want my career to be, and it can't go any other way. And
You know what's
obviously,
very ironic about that?
What?
You had a very 9 to 5 approach to a non 9 to 5
Yes.
industry.
yes.
That's
Yeah, well,
crazy.
I mean, I think
You can't help it. He's Chinese.
Well, I think to achieve certain things, you gotta have a goal still. You still
Yeah.
have to have a strategy. And so by way of a strategy, I think it lends
That's
itself
yours.
to have some sort of structure.
Yeah.
And because of that, I wanted to find, at least in my mind, what's the ladder here? If there's no ladder, then I'm not too sure how I would weave in out of my problems.
Yeah,
So
yeah, true.
I created my own ladder to climb, and obviously, like life itself, nothing ever really goes according to plan. And thanks to JK, it really helped me open my mind to get out of the rut of needing to progress a certain way, and it's okay to deviate and kind of take some time in a different format or a different realm of filmmaking, and then finding my way back, and hopefully, like progressing with you guys right now, we're getting closer to that one goal we all have, which is making a movie. So.
Damn, if life before JK, I think for me, I would still be a very discouraged person. Like, I think I would be a lot more fearful of the world than I am today. And it's crazy to think about it, but like it stays really true to me because I'm very thankful that I have parents that were supportive of me going into art and like studying into art, because like just growing up, like I know that my mom would always like talk to her like friends, and her friends would be like, oh, like that's not even profitable, like why would you ever have your kid go into that should just be a hobby. And then like my mom would kind of be influenced by that, and then she'll kind of like try to like insert some ideals into me where it's just like, don't you want to like studying something cool, like don't you want to like be a little bit more educated, like art isn't really like gonna get you a lot of money, like it's like you can never tell, like I don't want you to be out on the streets, it's like why don't you like try to aim for this school or this school, right? And like that guilt built up over time, so I just felt like I had pressure along with my passion. And I think once I graduated, I realized that exactly where I wanted to be in animation, and I didn't study exactly how to get into that. So like when I got out, I'm like, fuck, I have to start back from zero. No idea what I'm gonna do. I think I'm just gonna try and like apply for like all different types of internships, and like some of the internships I applied for, like I got rejected for. I'm like, fuck, dude, like even with the degree, like I can't get a job. And like you know, fuck, right? And I was like, so in my head I was just like, so it slowly just ate at me, where I'm like, man, like I don't think I can get anywhere. And it's like, fuck, like maybe I just didn't try hard enough. And then it just ate at me. It's like, man, maybe I should have listened to my mom. Maybe I should have like gone into something that was maybe like a bit more reasonable. Eventually, I would have probably been able to pick myself back up and just still continue to try. It just wouldn't be instant gratification. So I think I would have gone really slowly into like my career, but it would have been a really hard emotional journey for me.
It's so funny, I've seen how because when I came to JK, you guys were already solid, whatever, and I saw you two come in, so I saw the beginning of you two. You guys are way different now than when you were before.
Yeah.
Way different, and it's amazing, and I love it so much.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, girl.
What about for you? I feel like you were slightly,
Uh,
not necessarily JK, but
Yeah.
just in life, I feel like you've done things differently.
So growing up, I was by myself a lot, and I knew from the beginning that I cannot do a 9 to 5. That was just not for me. Like I would kill myself. Before I met JK, this was like early 20s. I was going through, like I was having sleepless nights of like, fuck, did I fuck up by not going to college? Like I should have listened to my family. And then I met you guys. I'm like, wow, this is a really cool group of people. And so I've always been a loner my whole entire life. Then I met you guys. I was like, holy shit, there's a group of people that I don't hate immediately. And then I met you guys. I was like, there is nothing about you guys I don't like. You guys are a good group of people. You guys don't talk shit about each other like every other fucking group. And then I saw you guys and how you guys were going. I was like, holy shit, like if they can do it, then maybe I can too. You know?
These bunch
If
of
these
losers
fucking
can do it.
If these degenerate circus fucking freaks can do it.
Yeah, like,
So can I.
because I remember watching Uncle Sam and Uncle Chin when I was like 16, 17. I was like, wow, these guys are idiots. You know? I was like, and then I was like, these idiots made a fucking company. I was like, holy shit, how's this happening? Because before you guys, I was hanging out with fucking nightclub people, and because I was go-go dancing and stuff, I was like, and they're like in their 30s and still living at home with their parents, still going to nightclubs. And I was like, fuck. And I never told you guys this because it's kind of embarrassing in a way, like a fangirl kind of way, but you guys are my biggest role models and inspiration ever. Like,
I know!
I don't know why I'm so emotional about this, because I really do love you guys and I'm never around. But like, you guys are such an amazing family to me. But that's why like I love being around you guys, because you guys inspire me to be way more than what I was before.
I mean, you've changed so much from when I first met
Really?
you. Yeah, because it was like, dude, where's Gina? Oh, she's probably gonna wake up at 6 and not like just probably play video games or something too. Now you changed that into like
It's 2 p.m. instead.
but now like you've changed
That's 4
that into a career. Like you've been more consistent with posting. Like now you're becoming more and more of a businesswoman, and you're taking more control of the things that are happening around you, opposed to just kind of going on a whim and like, all right, yeah, you want me to go here? Okay, fine, I'm gonna go here. But now like it looks like it's way more planned and calculated and stuff. So I've seen like the growth in you for sure.
I mean, dude, like honestly, like I feel like JK has changed my life in college because fuck! No, Gina, don't fucking do this to me! Don't do this to me, Gina! I'm gonna keep it in. But like honestly, like in college, I was reaching that point where like I just didn't know exactly what I was going to do, and like the route that I took, I was so unsure of, and that I was so afraid to fail. I was so afraid to fail, and then when I came across you guys and I saw you guys on YouTube,
Like, I remember it was shit Asian mom saying, I was like, fucking hilarious.
All videos.
It was so hilarious. Like, it was so relatable. And I was like, who are these guys? Like, what is it that they do? Like, how could I do this? And like, dude, they seem so fun. And then like JK News happened, and then just hearing your guys' like your guys' stories and like how you guys failed, but you guys were able to pick yourself back up and like continue to push and like learn from each one of them. It's like, to me, it just felt like, okay, it's not the end of the world. Like, I can make mistakes, and if I make a mistake, it's not a big deal.
And one of the
God damn it, Gina.
I know, sorry. I think one of the most big important things that I wanted to relate that I related with you guys the most is that a lot of us came from really dysfunctional past.
degenerate,
our childhood was like
fucking deadbeat type
yeah
backgrounds.
Yeah. And to see someone like that still succeeding in their own way was like, holy shit. Like, I thought about it, I was like, I think I might be okay because I found the right people.